Let's make Vindaloo Braised Lamb Shanks with spiced yogurt risotto. I originally made this recipe as a fun alternative to a more traditional Easter dinner, but what I thought was a novelty turned out to be one of my absolute favorite meals. So without further ado, let's make it. We're going to start by toasting our spices. Grab a dry skillet and add 10 black peppercorns, 8 whole cloves, 4 cardamom pods, 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, and 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. Toast the spices until very fragrant. Be sure to shake the pan frequently so they don't burn. Transfer the spices to a spice mill or a coffee grinder you don't mind sacrificing. You'll never get the smell of cumin out. Transfer the powder to a bowl and set it aside. Grab a blender or a food processor and pour in the spice mix. Next, add 8 peeled cloves of garlic, 1 1-inch piece of ginger, 4 red chilies, 2 teaspoons of tamarind paste, 3 tablespoons of Kashmiri chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of ground turmeric. Turn the blender on and slowly stream in 1/3 cup of water and 1/4 cup of coconut vinegar. If you can't find coconut vinegar, apple cider vinegar is great. Pour the paste into a bowl and set it aside. Next, grab your lamb shanks and pat them dry with a paper towel. Try to ignore the cat working you over for a shank of his own and sprinkle the lamb all over with 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of demerara sugar. Place the shanks in a dish and coat them with the spice paste. Cover and marinate for a minimum of 3 hours. Overnight is better. This amount of paste can accommodate up to 4 shanks. When you're ready to roast, preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Grab 4 shallots and slice them into half moons and set them aside. Place a large cast iron skillet over medium heat and add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Add 1 tablespoon of neutral oil and melt until the butter is foamy. Add the shallots and a generous pinch of salt. Sauté until just translucent. Stir in 1.5 teaspoons of black mustard seeds. Take the shanks out of the fridge and place them in the skillet. Pour in 2 cups of chicken stock and cover. Transfer the shanks to the oven and roast for 3 hours, turning the shanks every hour. This is the perfect time to fold socks and watch trashy TV. When the shanks enter their last hour, it's time to tackle the risotto. Peel and mince 2 cloves of garlic. Next, peel and mince some fresh ginger. You should have about 2 teaspoons worth. With the chopping done, place a large pot over high heat and add 6 cups of chicken stock. Bring the stock up to a boil before reducing to a simmer. Next, place a large deep skillet over medium heat. Add a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of neutral oil. Melt until foamy. Add the garlic and ginger and stir in half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and a teaspoon of gram masala. Sauté briefly. Stir in 1.5 cups of arborio rice. Toast until the rice begins to crackle. Start ladling in the simmering stock. Only add 1 or 2 at a time. Stir until most of the liquid is absorbed before adding more. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to constantly stir risotto. Just stay close. So while the risotto is cooking, we're going to steal away and julienne 2 mini cucumbers and thinly slice 2 red chilies. Once the rice is tender and creamy, add a cup of frozen peas and stir until they are heated through. This is a good time to taste and season your risotto with salt accordingly. Take the risotto off of the heat and stir in 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt. Stir until combined. Taste and adjust the seasoning once again. By now your lamb shanks should be ready. Spoon the risotto into bowls and make a little indent with the back of your ladle in the center. Lower a lamb shank into its risotto bed. Top the lamb with julienned cucumbers, the red chilies, some sunflower microgreens, and fresh mint leaves. And there you go! Vindaloo Braised Lamb Shanks with spiced yogurt risotto, a hearty, slightly fancy meal made for entertaining. Thank you for following along. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. See you next week.